Hey everyone, this is the Millionaire Hippies podcast with your host, Boom Shikha, where we chat about spirituality, business, and health. We all want to live self-actualizing, fulfilling lives with joy, prosperity, and gratitude. Let's go on this beautiful journey together.
Hey everyone, welcome to another podcast. I'm so grateful that you're listening. If you just started listening, I welcome you to the podcast. If you've been listening for a long time, thank you again for coming back and listening. I'm so grateful to you guys for your time, patience, and energy. In this podcast, we'll be speaking about success. To me, everyone who is working on their dreams and their ideal life and their scenarios is a success. They're already a success, no matter if they're already living their ideal life or if they're already making $1 million or whatever it might be. If they're not yet, it doesn't really matter. As long as they are trying, as long as they're working on it, as long as they are putting in the effort, they are already a success in my head. I was speaking to a friend of mine a few days ago, Keisha, and she was saying that she is going to do whatever it takes in order to be a success, in order to make her dream life come true. Even if that means going back to the States and working in Walmart, pushing carts, or being a checkout person, or teaching English in Chiang Mai, or whatever it takes. She is going to do whatever it takes in order to make her dream life a success. So if she needs to go back home and work for a little bit to save some money and then come back, or whatever she needs to do, she's going to do it. She's going to do it because she is going to make this a success, her life a success, no matter what matters, no matter what happens, she's going to make it happen, right? Same thing for me. I have the same kind of philosophy in life, is that I'm already a success in my head because I've already given it a shot. Most people, 99% of the population, will never, ever give their dream life a shot. They're never going to even try. They're never going to even take that first step. They're never even going to take the plunge. So they're always going to be a failure because they've never even tried. As long as you've tried once, and even if you failed, I'm saying that in quotation marks, even if you tried and did not succeed the first time around, that's all right. You've already succeeded because you have no regrets. You've tried it, you've done it, and perhaps it didn't work out this way and you're going to go back and try again, or you might not try again because you realize that's not for you. That's all right. At least you tried once. At least you tried and you tried to make it happen and it did not work out. That's totally fine. It may have worked out and that's awesome as well. But the first step of success, and the only important step of success, is to try the first time around. Most people, like I said, don't even try the first time around. And then there's a second group of people who try the first time around and they give a half-assed effort into it, or they try a little bit and it doesn't work out. And then they think to themselves, oh, this isn't for me, or this is not going to happen for me. I'm just not the right kind of person for it. I'm just not an entrepreneur. I'm just not a digital nomad, or I'm just not a yogi, or whatever it might be, right? They try and they don't succeed and they give up. And they do not keep on trying. So the second group of people are the people who just give up after the first try. They're already successful because they've tried, but they don't try forever. And I think the third group of people are the people who are like me, who are persistent, who try and try. They bang their head against the wall over and over and over and over again, and eventually the wall breaks down and they see the light at the end of the tunnel. Two random metaphors kind of mixed together. So basically they're beating their head against the wall, and then the wall breaks down and they're able to see the light, right? They're able to see the fact that there is some hope, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, or there is some fruition, something that's going to come into their life at the end of all of this work. Even if it doesn't, they're still doing it because they love what they do. Even if I am not successful at what I do, which I'm going to be because I'm going to do this until I die, but even if I'm not, it's still amazing because I get to live this life for this moment in time. And that is so precious, you guys. It's so precious to me that I can't even put words to it. Even if I have to go back to Canada after this and I have to work in a 9-to-5 job, the fact that I've gotten to live this beautiful, ideal life of mine for a few years is just so amazing. I can't believe how lucky I am. And because of that gratitude, because of that joy that I feel in living this life, I know that everything's going to be fine in the future. And I know that I'm going to be a success no matter what. What happens is that a lot of times what we think is that we need to be successful right away. Unfortunately, I used to be like that too. I used to have this fixed mindset, as Carol Dweck calls it. She's a doctor, a PhD, and she does research on mindset. And there's two kinds of mindset, she says. There's a fixed mindset and there's a growth mindset. For the longest time, myself, I had a fixed mindset. So I believed that I should try something once, and if I don't succeed at it, or if I'm not brilliant at it, it means that I'm never going to be successful at it. Because if you don't, or if you're not good at something right away, you're never going to be good at it, right? That was my mindset. Obviously, that's the fixed mindset, and that's the wrong mindset to kind of go into things with. The growth mindset people, they go into things knowing that they're going to grow. They know that in the beginning they're going to be crappy at it, but they know that the more they do it, the more they try, the more they're going to become better at it, and eventually they're going to be masters at it. So they go in with a growth mindset. And they're the ones in everything she's done research on that says that everyone who has a growth mindset, they're the ones who are persistent with things. They're the ones who are more great. They're the ones who are more successful because they just don't give up at the first try. They try and they try and they keep on trying over and over and over and over again. There was this really interesting and funny and awesome example, a story that she gave in the book. I can't really remember the name of the person, so excuse me for that. But there was this PhD student that was in, I think it was a PhD or a bachelor's or whatever. There's a student who was in university and he was late to class. And so he ran into class and he saw that the teacher, the math teacher, had left a couple of formulas on the blackboard, right? On the whiteboard, blackboard, whatever it might be. And they were unfinished formulas. So she had left it and they were not solved, right? So he assumed that it was homework and he wrote it down on a piece of paper in his notebook, and he went back home and he tried to solve these problems, these formulas. He tried and he tried and he tried all weekend, and then he came back and he'd solved all of those three or four formulas, and he'd solved the problem, the math problem. When in fact, the reality was that those problems were unsolved for decades, for centuries, and they were left behind by this mathematician in the 15th or 16th century, and they had been unsolved since then. But because he had the growth mindset and he believed that he could do it and he could solve it, and he knew and he believed and trusted in himself, he kept on trying and trying and trying over and over again, and he solved it. I mean, these formulas were unsolved for decades, for centuries, and he solved it because he believed that he could do it. And that is the power of the growth mindset. So I really want you guys to really, really think about what kind of mindset you have right now. And I know I meet a lot of people on a daily basis who have the fixed mindset, because that's the kind of mindset that is taught in university, in schools, in high schools, in middle school. And unfortunately, that's the kind of mindset that's pervading our society. The people who are entrepreneurs obviously believe that, mostly I believe, they must be growth mindset people, because you cannot be an entrepreneur without having a growth mindset. Because you know you're not going to succeed the first time around. You know you're not going to succeed the second time around. You have to keep on trying over and over and over again, tweaking your strategy a billion times until you actually succeed, right? So basically the tenet of it is that if you have a fixed mindset, it doesn't mean that you're stuck with it for the rest of your life. It's very easy to kind of switch back and forth between fixed and growth mindset. In fact, a lot of people who have a fixed mindset in one thing might have a growth mindset in another. For me, for example, I have a major growth mindset in entrepreneurship and in creativity and all of those things. But in relationships and partners and love, I have a fixed mindset. I believe that I can never grow and never succeed. And I'm always afraid to get into a relationship because I'm afraid that I'm stuck in that mode and I'll never improve. So that is where I have a fixed mindset, and that's where I need to improve on. A lot of people have a fixed mindset in terms of entrepreneurship or creativity. They believe that if they try the first time around and it's not good, then that's it, they're done with, and they don't try again. I have a growth mindset in languages. A lot of people believe that they try languages the first time around, and if they don't succeed, they never try again. For me, I'll try learning a language over and over and over and over and over again. I'm totally fine with making a mistake and screwing up and having people laugh at me. I don't care, because I'm learning a language and I'm a child at that point. And I know if I keep on with that growth mindset, I will eventually learn the language without any hassles. Again, I did not always have this growth mindset. I had a fixed mindset for the longest time. And then I read her book and I realized, oh my God, I've been doing it wrong all this time. And so I kind of switched right away. And it's really easy to switch back and forth because you instantly decide that I'm not going to have a fixed mindset anymore. I know that in order to succeed, I need to have a growth mindset. I need to be able to believe that I can grow and I can change and I can improve over time. And I've learned that, and I know that to be true. And so I've switched over. And I'm saying the same thing to you guys as well. If you believe that you have a fixed mindset, then I implore you and urge you to either read her book, Carol Dweck, Dweck, and the book is called Mindset, and read it and figure out how you can switch over, or switch it right now. Think about the fact that you want to have a growth mindset in everything that you do. You want to believe that you can succeed and change and improve no matter where you start off from. It does not matter where you start off from. It only matters where you end up. I hope this makes sense to you guys. I know it's really interesting and there's a lot of topics in there. It's a little bit complicated sometimes, but I hope that I explained it to you guys in a manner that was suitable. I hope that you guys have an amazing day wherever you are. If you guys are interested in joining my team, go on to patreon.com/boomshikha. I'll talk to you guys the next time around. Bye for now.
Thanks for listening. Go check out my website at themillionairehippie.com if you want more free, awesome content. If you really like the podcast, please consider giving me a 5-star review on iTunes. Until next time, namaste.